conditions that will lead to the eggs not leading to the results that are expected. This is also another incubator for babies, and on Dactaria will tell you why the kids are put there. Mostly is used for babies that have been born mature, so their body organs are not well developed to function well. Therefore, they are put here so that they are put in an environment where they are prevented or they are kept safe from environmental conditions that will hinder their growth and development. So they are put there because there are some challenges. The organs are not well developed. The body function are not well functioning. They are not working well. Similarly, when we are talking about small businesses have very many challenges. Some of the challenges are here: a lack of a competitive product because of our service. Because without a service or a product, you are not in business. Actually, we normally say in entrepreneurship, you must define your product. The first question we ask when we are training in entrepreneurship class, which is not what I'm training today, I'm just mentioning one or two things, is, for example, the nation daily newspaper. What do they sell? Do they sell the newspaper? Or what do they sell? What else I mean? They sell viewership. They sell wale leadership. Wale watu wanasoma gazeti. So kama ni watu milioni moja, that is what they sell. They don't sell the paper. The paper, they can't make money from 60 shillings that you pay for them. But that is a topic we'll discuss in deeper in a class when we'll be discussing about entrepreneurship. So if they say the newspaper is read by 30 million, they are selling that readership of that 30 million people, so that I can advertise their paper, because they will get money from the money that people pay for advertisement, not the 60 shillings that they pay. But sometimes you may think that their business is getting 60 shillings from us who buy the paper. So you must define your business very well. So you must competitive product or service. Most small businesses, they lack the knowledge and skills, because that is what drives business. Of course, you must have infrastructure. The team in the logistics, they tell you that is key. Business networks are very key. You saw the HR consultant has just created a network with Mr. Brian here, and he's likely to get new businesses from that network. So business networks are very key, but you'll find small businesses don't have networks. Market is a big challenge for small businesses. Business competition. You can imagine you are a small business and there are big players in the same industry where you are, so you will find a lot of challenges. Then too many regulations to comply. I'm sure from the discussion that we had since Friday, you have had so many government requirements. You have even your coffee, which is your main product, your cash cow. We call it strategy, your cash cow. You had the guy from the directorate. He came here to present about laws that regulate the coffee industry. So with all those many regulations, as a small businesses, we find it very difficult to comply. Unaanza biashara hivi, KRA, they are knocking your door. KEBS are knocking your door, they are telling you, tafunga biashara yako. NEMA, they are always around the corner. If you are in food industry, public health, work on your case. as a small business, you find a lot of challenges. And of course, if I started asking questions, if I was presenting in a facilitative way and started asking you what is the main challenge that small enterprises face, you'll have most people will say is capital. For us, we put it the last. Because without a business idea, even if you have a capital, you will not go far. And those are the challenges that the youth fund, which is available for small entrepreneurs, they face. We'll discuss about that later. They disburse a lot of money, but you find the youth are still not doing much about making use of the money that has been. So then, what is a business? What is business incubation? That was just a background. And a business incubation is simply a program that is targeting young entrepreneurs, to give them a safe place or a safe array of support services until they are strong and sufficient to stand on their own. With the main purpose being that we want these small businesses to survive and overcome challenges of being small. There is what we call liabilities of being a new company and being small. There are challenges that are related to that we have seen. Or it can be a physical place. I'll be elaborating this more. Or can be a virtual. Actually, we are saying now, initially the concept of an incubator was a physical place where you bring small enterprises, they are given a space somewhere, and then they are provided with a conducive business environment. Like we have seen a conducive environment for babies to grow or for the eggs to hatch. But now that has since changed. It's actually an arrangement, an institutional arrangement. Currently, that is what's happening, that you can be in your place and you are incubated. You are given support services that ensure that your business grows and becomes mature. The key critical support services in an incubation program is knowledge, technology, financial capital, and human capital. The services that are provided in an incubator include it can be a physical facility, can be business development services, can be access to financial resources. You can be linked to higher education resources. That is knowledge, issues of knowledge. You can be linked to strategic partners. We have talked about networks being very key. You have an idea and you want partners. You want people can partner with you to turn your an idea into a business. So you are linked to investors or venture capitalists who will partner with you, inject capital into your business to convert your business, an idea to a business. Also, issues of get advisory and mentorship services. And you are also assisted to comply. We have talked about so many government regulations. So in that incubation environment, you are given you are helped so now to comply with the regulatory service. And then there are issues of intellectual property, because when you have a business, you need to protect your business ideas so that other people don't run with them. So you also in an incubator, you'll be assisted on how to protect your business idea. What market research is key, because as small business, you may not have the ability to collect data and information to inform you in marketing. So you'll be assisted on market research, and we have talked about networking. So I'll talk about the business incubation ecosystem in Kenya before I zero down to Kiridi, our business incubator at Kiridi. having talked about the ecosystem, or rather the support services that are required for small businesses, in Kenya, we have institutions. Say it is an arrangement, it's institutional arrangement. There are several institutions that play in this ecosystem. First is the academia institution, universities and tertiary institution. It's only that in our country where you find universities are so linked with businesses. Those who have gone across to other countries, you find that the professors at the universities are the one who provide solution for the businesses. So there are opportunities for in the academic institution for you to be able to get business ideas and to have your business ideas nurtured to grow. Currently, we have seen this trend changing. At University in Nyeri, they are currently now hosting innovators. We have the guy who is making the phone charging cables, who is being hosted at Dennis Market, and is now his business is being nurtured there. We have the Manu Chandaria Incubation Center at Kenyatta University, who are also they are incubating business ideas. Then we have research institution. This is where Kiridi is, and I will be talking more about Kiridi, what we do. We have also Caro, we have Kemfree National Museum of Kenya. They've got very good business ideas that you as entrepreneurs you can pick, and they will assist you to incubate your business ideas. Then we have technology incubators. It is also a technology incubator. I will tell you more about what we do. And we are also private one like Gearbox on engineering and others. Then we have business development service providers like Kenya Institute of Business Training, KIBT, who provide business development services that are required to nurture a small business enterprise. Then we have microcredit finance institution, MFIs, and Ellen is here. They are also supporting businesses to grow because they will provide you with a credit in an affordable interest that is geared towards small enterprise. So that is part of incubating. They are providing you with an environment that is not given to the large enterprises so that you can be able to grow. Then we have standard and compliance institutions, organizations like KENAS, KRA. These organizations, they will be able to provide you with support services to meet the regulatory requirements. Remember, we have said there are so many things you are supposed to comply with as an enterprise. And if you are small, by the way, regulation can kill your business. Nema wanaweza kukuja tu asubuhi and in the evening huko biashara. Yeah, wanasema tu hata wanakujanga na padlock. Then KRA, you know the issue of Keroche and KRA. KRA literally closing the business. So they announced the other day they are coming to open the business. So if you are, then I was asking myself, is the owner of Keroche who in charge of the business, or now it is KRA who own the business? They were even inviting the MD for the opening ceremony to open our own business. So you can imagine how regulation issues are. But now there are programs for small businesses. KEPS, they have a standard program for SMEs. KRA, currently they are also having specific programs to assist small enterprises. Yeah, so you find there are those programs that you need to be aware as a small business that you'll be able to assist. So let me talk about Kiridi now specifically what we are doing. What we do as Kiridi is to assist you to convert your business idea into a profitable business. So when you come to Kiridi, the first thing is we will listen to you and identify what business idea you have. And then we will do an assessment of the business idea. We also do an evaluation. And while we are doing this, we can do a feasibility study to know whether your business is viable. You can do resource mapping. Resource mapping is your business requires raw materials. Kama ni biashara ya kutengeneza maybe juice from mangoes, you need to know, are there enough mangoes in your catchment area where you want to get to your business. We also do a market analysis to know whether ideas are enough market. Then we do a technology needs assessment. Do you have the capacity to be able to do what you want to do? Then the next thing we will do experimentation. Now this is what we call research. We are Kenya industrial research. So the first thing is research. So we'll do research, and because we are manufacturing based, we are an industry based. So we will do an experimentation. We have labs. We have research labs in our lab to at least check whether your idea is viable and try to develop a product from your idea. Because even if your idea is as good as what, until it becomes a product that you sell to somebody, it's not a business. So it must be converted to a product or a service so that you can take it to the market. Then once we have a product, it has to be standardized, because at the end of the day, you can't take a product that is not certified by KEBS to the market and sell. You need to get certification by KEBS. So what we do is we help you to have your product certified by KEBS before you take it to the market. Even if you take your product to the market and it fails, KEBS will automatically tell you it's a industry-oriented product. Go to Kiriti, they will assist you to make sure that the product meets the standards. Then we'll give you the skills, production skills, for you to be able to produce your product. Because you must produce the product at an affordable cost. And this is one of the challenges that small enterprises face. You find their products are not competitive into the market because they spend or they produce a product very expensively because they don't have the right skills to be able to efficiently and cost effectively produce the product. Then after that, we have what we call common manufacturing facilities. You have a product, it has a market, but you don't have the equipment to be able to produce your product. So we have equipment at 3D different centers for doing different things. So we'll give you a chance to make use of our equipment to be able to produce your product for the market within a particular duration as you build your capacity to be able to establish your own production facilities. The team in the fashion, if you want now to move into producing instead of sourcing from other producers, we can give you production facilities for you to produce for a particular time as you build your own workshop to be able to produce. Of course, there is a limitation of we have the equipment, specific equipment that you want to use, but that is something we can discuss and put up the equipment together.
So we are selling the
yes, we can have a discussion on that. Then after that, we also do equipment fabrication, installation and commissioning. So if you have grown and you want to move out of our incubation facility, we will assist you identify the right equipment, then assist you in installing the equipment and commissioning the equipment. We are in the sector where Mzee was presenting. So we present an improved version of what the chairman of the coffee. Yeah. So what was he saying? demystified. We are now demystifying on the higher level. Now instead of, you see exactly what he was discussing. You see now he was using the sufurias and his own homemade equipment for roasting and converting the berries into coffee, in a cup. Now we do on a higher level where we give you now the right equipment, assist you now coming up with the right equipment to use in your production facilities. Yes. Yes, actually, when Munya was the minister at industrialization, though it was for a very short time, we did there and coffee factory. So he wanted us to transfer that technology. The only challenge is what you had Mzee talk about yesterday, which are those things we discuss on the site. The issue of the coffee industry has a lot of cartels. Yeah, people don't want value addition within Kenya. So every time you try to move that direction, you find a lot of resistance. But now the minister was using his authority to try to drive that agenda. But it does clearly, for example, bring value more. Yes. I see them how to go. Yes. There's that facility. We have not put up the facility for roasting, yes, but we can now discuss on how to put up that, because we wanted to put, but the challenge was you try to look for entrepreneurs who want to get into that business. Wanakuambia hapa iko shida. You can proceed in that line. Yes. 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 Most of it you are yes. Yeah, hiyo tuongee. All the experts in we have experts in coffee roasting. They are there and they have all the knowledge. They only need now you are also on the other side of government. Every time we try to tell them to go that side, they say, this is a no-go zone area. The people are in that, but now because you are already doing it, because you are already doing it, because the idea now is coming from you, the expert will be able to assist you to the job. They will be able to work with you to work on that. We had also discussed with Google. I think yeye ndiye alifunga nini jana. Ndiye alifunga. Unajua mzee yeah. Because you want to do wine from coffee berries. So, and we are doing currently wine from banana. Yes. That is an area that they can be able to get into. So that is a discussion. That is something we had said yesterday. We discussed with him. So yeah, and also biogas from now the coffee kwa berry ile nabaki ile magada when you pulp. Yeah, the pulp when you pulp. Yeah. So they are doing a lot of biogas and biofuel. Basically, even now are renewed. Yes. Then ukitoka hapo, then we can assist you now. Once you go to put up your coffee roasting place, we can be working with you at your place now to address any challenge until the business stands on its own. Perfect. So what are some of the areas where we have worked on food sector? We are doing a lot on cereals. This thing can be able to point. The point. Yeah. This is soya beans, in Bungoma and Migori County. converting into this is porridge, unga ya porridge. You can imagine we were incubating a lady from Japan, and then she was exporting to Japan. Kwa sababu karibu German. Yeah. This is hii ni kachumbali and sauce.
Yes.
From
This is also from Japan. Incubated in Kenya.
Yeah, alikuwa anafanya soya. Tuko kwao.
This is kwa hakuna kazi.
Na she was based in Migori.
Kenya Somalia hakuna kazi.
So alikuwa anakaa hapo Migori. So then she exposed to
Mera.
Then this is sauce na kachumbari imewekwa kwa tin. This one the kachumbari can last for 18 months kwa shelf. So kazi yetu ni ku develop a product that can stay in the shelf for long. Hii ni maneno ya juices, lemon juice, lemonade, and many other things. Then this is also a very interesting thing. This is camel meat. Sasa hii inaitwa the Somali community, there is a delicacy they call nyiri nyiri, locally processed, one do traditional process. But now you can't export when you are doing that traditional process. So we incubated this with ladies. This is the final product that they are taking to UK. You know,
hapa ni cute. Nimekuja hapa.
Hapa ni Garissa hapa.
No. Huku ndani.
Hii yote ni Garissa. Hii ni Garissa yote.
Hii Garissa, si kweli?
Yeah, ni Garissa. Sasa hii product unaona hapa na hii wanapeleka UK. Wanatuma where the Somali communities are. Because it's Somali, they love it. Mushroom sahi is being said is going to be the solution to problem ya binadamu.
Kwa nini?
Sababu sahi hatuna shamba na hizi vitu zina grow kwa unapanda juu ya miti. Unapanda kwa sawdust. Unaweka sawdust kwa hii kama kwa hii nyumba na unapanda the mushroom na grow. Now this is then from mushroom now you have to put some kind of mushroom. Zingine they are growing wild mushroom in the Kakamega forest and other forests, and they are yet to be discovered. I was listening to BBC to another lady, another professor, that one of the mushrooms in Naivasha. She has discovered more than 3,000 species of mushrooms that grow wild. Now she's trying to domesticate. So that is an area. Now this is in Kisi, one addition to banana. So these women are exporting these crepes, banana crepes, to Italy and other countries. And this is the wine, banana wine. Because that the company when I eat a retoke, banana. This is passion juice and whatever. So these equipments are all fabricated and so when you are beginning, you know, we are talking about startups.
I came for the nuts. Remember?
Yes. Then these are soaps and detergents. Hii ni mambuyu. Ina grow huko kwetu shambani. And once you extract that powder from mambuyu and then convert it to a cream, the amount of money you're talking about here, and the cost of selling milligrams of this, you will be surprised. That one we can discuss when you come to it, if you are interested. You can see here there is a range of many things. We are talking about garlic oil.
Jennifer ameniangalia niambia wewe sasa na hili
We are talking about garlic oil. This is macho yangu yoni mzuri. Peanut oil, avocado oil. Sasa hii baobab, this was powder, this is oil. And
Yes.
oil.
Baobab has oil.
Then all these you can convert to this. This ndio sasa tunanunua kwa shelf. And surprisingly, our supermarkets are full of these products that come from other countries. Yes. South Africa being one of the our shelves. Leather, Bugu amekaa wapi?
Bugu yako hapa. Yalikuwa
Kama is oh.
Hata nastuka usiongee mambo ya waini sana hiyo hawaina. Sasa wakitikana na kapoko.
Wanakuwa wanajiundia. So Bugwa, he has already benefited from Kiridi or fish leather.
Fish leather.
Yeah, fish leather. Ukikula samaki umekula chakula together with the biashara. You can see the kind of products that making. Wapi Jennifer? Manager of fashion. No. Oh, not Jero. Fashion. And then a very interesting product. Hii tunatafuta partner. So Starteam, you can pick up this. This is sanitary pads from Babu. Babu, unajua the way in grow Mount Kenya. Not even wachana na Mount Kenya hakuna land. We want to grow it in Northeastern.
Babu.
Yes. So this is still on experimentation. Don't worry. In fact, you can the opposite, where there are no good conditions.
Yeah.
Once you incubate, that's why I'm talking about incubation. Once you introduce the good conditions, now that's where it grows. Yes. Yes. He is the one who deals with cartels. I don't want to discuss that. Me, I'm for developing the product.
Proudly.
Yes, but this one, this is natural biodegradable compared to the one that we are used to, that are from man-made synthetic. So this one is yet to be commercialized. So we're looking for an investor to take our field, convert of a lab. The next level. It is attended, so we will discuss about royalty rights by the innovators who have innovated. Kuna hii kitu inaitangwa nini?
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera. I know there are many things being done in a Juakali way, but now when you come to it, this is prof. It will take you to the next level so that you can do commercial production of the products of aloe vera. Yeah, on the engineering front, nani alikuwa anaongea maneno ya irrigation? So it was yule daktari from Prof Directory. This is a youth who is doing mobile irrigation. So he's incubated at Kirigi. This was being tested in Mwea, around Mwea area. So he's doing this. He's yet to commercialize. So I'm a patent.
Sasa hii maji inatoka wapi?
It is connected. There are some parts of it that you are not seeing. Then currently what he's doing and connect to a pikipiki. Badala kusukuma hii inasukuma, unaona kuna mtu kwa ile side na mwingine kwa hii side wanasukuma. Sasa hii anaweka motor ya kusukuma. Then this is the honey processing equipment. We are and innovative fabricate. This is an hospital bed that we've done. Nahitaji watu wa commercialize investors. This is locally made up welding machine. Pia inatafuta watu wa commercialize. Kazi yetu sisi is to create the ideas, then you investors. So there are opportunities here for starting. Pick up and commercialize. So I would say more, there are very many ideas. Remember, the key thing is you come with your own idea and then we take you through until market. While you stand, when you're able to stand with the marketplace, then we give you to stand on your own. From no matter how rough your idea is, then we work with you so that we can convert the idea into a business. So there are some charges here and there, but they are manageable charges, because I know that is the next question people normally ask. Because you have seen this is the product development. It's costly. You need water, you need electricity, you need raw materials. So there are charges there. We discuss based on the innovation. We assess the innovation that you want to pick up. Then we do the costing so that you can be able to pay some money, then you are taken through the process. Basically, to be able to take care of the utilities. Let me say that. We have around, currently we have around 96 research scientists. These are engineers, biochemistry, industrial chemistry, all sorts of scientific expertise to be able to look at an idea and convert it to a business. We will not charge you their salaries because they are paid by the government. So it's a public institution, so that is not cost. The only thing we cost is you depending on what you want to do. The raw materials that we used in the experimentation, if there are chemicals, we use, of course, electricity, water, all this is required. We do costing, you will pay money. It's not much, can be as low as 10,000. If your idea will take a week to nurture and innovate, up to 100,000, depending on the nature and innovation of that. I think the guys who are infrastructure work around, because yesterday we heard from the mineral guys. Yes, that is a tough area, and actually we like venturing in the areas that are not tough. So this is one area starting we can work together because it's a very potential area. We have a unit that are dealing with building materials and minerals. And you know, a research institution in a country is as good as the entrepreneurs in that industry. So I want to give you a secret, Starteam and Joseph here. These institutions that are doing incubation that I've said, they are there. You just use them. If you don't use them, they will just be there consuming government funds. Because they are there to provide service. And if nobody is demanding the services, they will just remain there. So if you take advantage of them, then you will get you benefit from that. So because that one is one area that we scare from the guy from yes. Yeah, so far. So we can work together in that area to tap in those areas. Currently, what in our place they are working on, which can be expanded, is the ceramic tiles. Which, to most of them, certainly get import. So we need partners to work on that area to build local production of ceramic tiles for the building industry. So the group in the infrastructure, that is an area that tunaweza fanya kazi pamoja. Wacha nimalizie hapo ndio tupatie the next person a chance, na pia our area najua inakuanga na maswali mingi. because hata sisi hatuelewi vizuri. Research and development ideas come, and then before I forget, you know, Starteam, you are an incubator. You come on allow, of course. Because you have all these enterprises that you are linking with that are supplying you.
Yes.
And you are providing them with a conducive business environment.
Yes.
So you can develop incubation as one of your portfolio product. And this is an area that you can work together. Because for you to be able to be successful, you will be as good as the people who are supplying you. So you need to build their capacity so that they can be able to supply with you with quality goods and services for you to take them to the next level. I like what you have done. You have gone up to working with the farmers for the coffee.
Yes.
So that the quality of the coffee that you are going to export, you control it right from the farm level. Right from the farm level there. I had the team from was it new? They said wamefanya organic lakini they are yet to benefit from that organic. That is now your work. Yeah. Sasa hiyo sio yao.
I am a farmer in your renew. And I know what.
Yeah. Now it is the work of the Starteam to benefit from that niche by doing now the market linkage. There are the guys who are looking for the organic coffee for them to pay premium.
Now organic coffee, by the way, organic coffee 1 kg is $2.
So now that's where you are in. Now it's good you are now a partner there. Now you can be able to incubate them. You provide them now with a business condition that they require to be able to channel out organic coffee. So that now once you are doing the marketing, you can be able to get the premium. I'm sure this is where we will also be able to work with you on issues to do with market research, so that you can be able to identify who are these people who are buying organic coffee at premium. Watch a market together. You know the reason they are marketing together with the other coffee because they don't know this niche market. And that is now the work for Starteam to get into that gap. That gap. So thank you for listening to me. Nimeongea sana. Asante.
Hey, usimame, we give him a study innovation. We give him a study innovation. Zile makofi yake, who understood? Jage, kuja close hiyo sasa. Paul cannot know what. Makofi kwa wanashinda.
Tupigie makofi bila kufunga. 1 2 3 1 2 3 mara tatu. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Asante.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You can answer questions.
Yes, he is ready for questions. And he has the answers of your questions. You really have the answer.
You can research.
If you don't ask questions, I can give you answers. Then you ask questions.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that is a good question. There are charges, but subsidized charges. So at least your business people will understand. The normal public, they may not understand. We will not charge you what government has paid. Salaries, we will not charge you anything that government has. But you know now there will be unique needs for your group. For example, if you are doing coffee, you may need to buy coffee. The government did not know that you want to buy coffee, berries or whatever. So that cost will be charged. You may need to use some money or whatever. So we'll charge, but it's usually not expensive. That is not not something you can discuss for starting.
Yes.
Then the common wananchi. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Interest.
Yes. Yes.
So
No, we are also in that space. So it's that is an area we have in engineering, electronics, and ICT units who are now working that that area, and we are coming up with now a new ultra modern laboratory that is going to get into the emerging areas, robotic, nanotechnology, and such areas. Yeah, but that is a person who will be willing to work with.
Any other question?
What about part of you or the idea? How do you protect? I am bringing my idea to you.
Yes, yes,
It's the
yes.
intellectual properties and all that. How do you assist innovators to make
Yes.
sure that the ideas are safe?
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, you saw one of the support services that are given to young businesses with intellectual property. So we are also assisting innovators with patent. We are not the patenting institution. The patenting institution is called KIP. Yeah, but they are at the final end. So they will just ask you what is the innovativeness, for lack of a better word. In professionalism, they call it novelty. What is the novelty in your product for it to be patented? Now that is our work, to assist you to identify the innovativeness in your innovation, so that when you go to Kiki, they will patent it. So we are experts in IP, intellectual property, who will take you through the process of now do you prepare go to get the innovation. And when we're working with you, when you come with your idea, the first thing is we sign something is called non-disclosure agreement, that we are not going to disclose your idea to other people. So that's the first thing we sign. Then we send you to keep it now to protect your idea before we start developing it. Because when you start developing something, you may not know how it goes. We have one guy, we signed actually contract this Monday or Tuesday. They are doing, and just listen to this, the mushroom I'm talking about. They are doing the infrastructure guys. They are doing insulation materials from bagasse or rice husk and mushroom. So what they do is they use the bagasse or the mushroom or the rice husk materials, then they grow mushroom on it. The mushrooms act as the binder, bind the bagasse and the rice husk into now that institution material. And you know what they were working on was on the initial product was on a ceiling board. That is what they were working. But down when they were experimenting down the line, the first product that came out was not planned for. Now there is special for insulating boilers, other whatever. In the cold places in Europe, but they will start. I'm sure they will be going to they insulate the buildings against the cold. And high temperature places, the insulation they insulate the buildings from the heat. So why you need to protect the idea before even you start developing it. You may not know. This one they were working on ceiling board, but they ended up getting a quicker and high potential product of the insulation material. So that's how it works. So the first thing we sign a disclosure agreement so that we are bound not to disclose your idea to somebody else. And then we assist you to go to keep it, protect your idea.
let's say I'm talking about idea.
Yes.
Company or
Yes.
for example, I've gone to I went to
Yes.
I realized that most of the things
Yes. Yes. Yes.
then I came up with a plan. So when you see I can come up with any vehicle, any what, you don't need to discuss people. But again, there is this true, it's automatic. True. Now I don't have I have anything. It's not it. There is a built up the system, it's ready, it's working, right, and I can.
Yes.
Do you facilitate that and such kind of things? What is the read and no, I don't really.
Okay. We may not facilitate directly that because now this is market linkage. So unless maybe the best thing is if we agree we are incubating you, and then we now look for the partners who are going to take up your innovation. But the first thing that you need to do is patent and protect your idea, so that you don't face the M-Pesa innovator guy.
But you see,
And then from there,
already patent, and once you have the corporate,
yes, yes,
that's where
true. This is the guy. This is the guy to assist.
If patents, then it means that
Yeah.
patent the half of this.
So you come, we assist you, but then our IP person assist you to document the innovation, and once you get it patented by now starting watakuonyesha how to approach the MDs, get the innovative.
so do you mean that in the market linkages,
Yes.
after an innovator develops something,
Yes.
yours gets there, or is there the
True,
business
true, true,
development
true.
of
That's why I talked about an ecosystem. So we have other institutions, and you tell you better. Actually, I talk about, I talked about MFI and microfinance institutions because Ellen is here, gave her the advantage. But kuna wale wa serikali, kuna KI who provide funding, kuna MUSEA who are also now they are working on a credit guarantee system where they give the bank money, guarantee you to take loans. So, and then now for the marketing, we have the product. They are the one who will assist you to link you with the market. So all that ecosystem work together as an ecosystem to support innovation. So for the marketing, we'll refer you to the product.
But they don't, they deal with export.
They are trying to also build local, but still local. Yeah, but mostly they are dealing with export. But they know. I know.
Yes.
Once you have patented the nursery business, but if the idea is innovative enough, that idea of collect, I know is good at that.
But now you get like people like us now, like, why if nikutane na wewe and work on
We have also another body called Kenya Innovation Agency. That one I can directly link you with you. Now this one, the marketing is not the issue. Connecting the MD is not the issue. The MD stealing your idea is the issue.
Yes.
Yes, a good idea will sell itself, but once you pitch it into the idea to him, what guarantees you that you will earn the money from it? Now that's where you need to be assisted. That's where Kenya needs to assist.
How will you explain? Like good people.
Yes.
You cannot finish. You cannot finish the issue of Mr. Motita here. I know you give us another opportunity in our next meeting.
True.
We just wanted the basics first and foremost, and thank you so much. Do you have any other burning issue from anybody related? You have understood what it can help you. It's basically now a follow-up.
This was actually like a sensitization.
Yes. If you are to deal with the
you
issue,
go think.
Yes.
Even within starting.
Yes.
What are these business portfolios that you want to manage? Then we can discuss together on how we are going to talk. And you know, most of the things that you are asking, they are on the entrepreneurship aspect. That was not my topic. They are just talking about the incubator. Now, how do you have a patented innovation? How do you benefit that? It's what we call fast move. You might, there are people who have good ideas that are patented, but they are waiting maybe for somebody to steal. They take the person to court. So they will wait forever and they will not benefit. But how do you become the first mover in the market based on that idea? You reap all the benefits before others or the others come. These are now the entrepreneurship aspect that we talk about. One of the areas that yesterday you are told is the mining industry. You need to start, you need to be the first mover. We need to discuss on how do you become the first mover in the mining sector. And Joseph, just let me say this. I promised you I'll tell you the tactics. So now you don't hear the performance management. Let me say this. Because Joseph, controls are good, but they can kill a business. The finance experts here. These guys need to know now. You need to help them to become entrepreneurs inside your business. The performance management should become a driving force, not a discouraging force. And how do you do it? Now I want to tell you without hearing. Within. Let him have his target, and you have your own. Yeah, his target is 20 million. Your target should be 40 billion. Ile yako wewe umejiwekea. So by the time unampea yake 20, au kwa usikii.
Ndio 60 hata nikitoka nje kidogo.
Wakati unampatia yake 20, uko na yako extra 20.
Yes.
You have to challenge him why he should give you bonus. Yeah. And those are, we can discuss in details.
When I'm away.
How do you do that? I'll tell you. I also do organization development. I'll tell you. I'll give you a topic on managing your boss instead of your boss.
You have that topic, and Jennifer, the next retreat.
Yes. Managing your boss. So you need to know now you become the boss of your boss. When you do that, you will never ever have issues with the. Yeah, I actually do what Julie does in my organization, but you know, you do performance management for so many years, it becomes a routine. And, when it becomes a routine, it becomes inertia for the organization to move. So we have moved now to the next level. They are having staff becoming like entrepreneurs inside their organization. We call it intracorporate entrepreneurship. You are running instead of running away from start team to go and start your business, you start your business inside Starteam. That is what we call intracorporate entrepreneurship, and sell it to the boss. That's why I tell you, how do you sell it to the boss? Then from there, performance management will not be, controls will not be an issue, because yeah, hata hiyo biometric will not become an issue because You will be driving the business. It is not the boss driving the business, so it will not matter where you are at what time. It won't matter because you will be driving the business again. So the boss will be knowing things are under control, but those are topics to discuss another day. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukuta. Again, clap for him. And I think I want to invite you again here.
Yes.
So that the guy that you see, the owner of Buja in the crowd, he needs to sleep. He's in Canberra. He's around the building. He's heading around 9 p.m. Maybe 7, 8 p.m. And he has just written me a message that he wants to be. He also calling himself a youth.
He doesn't look like one.
You the guys are saying that Kenya doesn't look like a youth. Can you hear us, David?
That's right.
Of course,
Yes, I can hear you.
our team says that you are not a youth.
I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm a young entrepreneur to be incubated.
You also want to be incubated. He's a Kenyan, but he lives in Australia. Canada. A friend. He wants us to have a partnership. So, Mr. Mukuta, yes, he'll push you here so that you can come and assist. Okay. As he is also want to be incubated.
Yeah,
I know you want to start a very big business.
Give me his contact.
Yes.
We cannot do virtual incubation.
Yeah.
Yeah, say the incubation is an arrangement, it's an institutional arrangement. So we can
Paul Sana, I know yesterday you were very ready to do the presentation, but then I think we got stuck with so much coffee issue. And thank you so much.
We cannot cut what.
And because I know you are following up.
I was enjoying the discussions yesterday. So we cannot cut this at all.
Thank you also for creating your time today. You have a very schedule so that you can talk with Starteam. Basically, you give us an overview. I know we have interacted with you on a number of issues, very with my team. Today you are having a full house. You are having a full house. And basically, is if you don't mind, I will make you the administrator.
Look.
I'm saying I will make you the administrator, the host, so that you can, for the purposes of the sharing the screen. So the floor is yours, sir.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. I think our internet connection.
Maybe I'll turn off my video, I think. Hear me well though. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I think my video turned off is better, I think.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, thank you, Sana. If you cannot hear me at any time, just let me know, and I will adjust.
You are loud and clear.
That's great. That's amazing. Thank you, Sana. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, Joseph and the team. And I think I'll just reiterate. I'm young as well, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I'll definitely be giving you a call to discuss some of the things on the youth fund. I think it's a great initiative that you're doing, especially focusing on growing the local talent. But I think I'll get into the discussion. And also, I wanted to say I really enjoyed the discussion yesterday on performance-based contracting. And if I can just add one thing I've realized, and I've done a few consultancies in my few years of working, and is there's a shift towards people-centric and outcome-centric performance-based measurement, as opposed to a traditional way of doing it, which was this is your KPI, this is what you're going to hit. But now the way that things are going is you're shifting towards asking people what they want, what they need. And actually, that's what I see Starteam doing. You coming into the market with all these solutions, and what you're really doing is answering an outcome, answering a need. And then once you do it from that perspective, you can't really go wrong because you're starting the discussion in the right foot. So you're saying, what do the people want? How can they get it in the best way? As opposed to saying, oh, we're going to set these KPIs. But in the way that I have seen performance-based contracting being done is more around towards the end. What's the end goal we're trying to achieve? What's the outcome we want? I think that's a really good comment I want to add. So I'll get into what I'm talking about, and I'm talking about a lot of technology, a lot of IT. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to take too much time. And I want to have a very different approach to talking about technology, because technology can sometimes be a little bit too much. I want to try and just talk about the outcome, and the outcome here is digital transformation. And my questions are, what can we do? What can we work together on to help companies, to help enterprises, or even governments to overcome and achieve digital transformation? And that's broad, obviously, but I think the idea is, we want to get to an end, which is a place where there is transformation digitally, because everybody is talking about data, digital. What does that actually mean? How can we actually work together to achieve that for people? So I won't talk too much about things and IT, because it's not really useful. It's more useful. As enterprise or government achieve anything.
We are losing you.
Unasikia?
Nakupoteza kidogo.
Is that better? Again, a bit closer.
Yes.
I was saying, I don't know if you missed anything I said, but all I'm saying is I want to talk less about the technology, the IT, the hardware, the stuff. I want to talk more about how we can get the solution to answer the questions that customers want, clients want. And I think that's the whole aim. Even when we talk about performance-based contracting, you're supposed to answer a question. You're not supposed to just go in with your solutions and hardware and IT and things, because that's where you go wrong. So you have to start asking yourself, what do the clients want? I will give you a bit of an overview of what the solutions are and what capabilities we have and the capacity that we have to actually drive those transformations, but it will be more of just an overview of what the solutions look like. But I'm quite keen to engage and just understand what the outcomes look like and what change could be driven by the stuff that we're trying to sell. So in terms of just a bit of background, Gen Z Cloud, I started a company about 2-3 years ago, and it's registered in Kenya and Australia as well. I'm currently based in Australia, but I keep saying that my heart is in Kenya. And I think Joseph understands what I'm trying to do is a few things around servers, computing, technology, just to help establish a business that helps with the servers and storage and things that companies really often use and often go to the bigger Dells, HPs, and Cisco's out there. And what we're doing is giving a local solution that can be localized as well. So our focus is two things. We do cloud. So if somebody wants a cloud platform, you want to do your cloud computing, we can deliver that as a service. But we also are focusing heavily on the hardware, the building. So we build servers, we build the storage solutions, we build the switches which help you with the networking. And again, the difference with the hardware is it's an open platform. It's an open, as you can see here on the bottom, the benefits that we actually deliver. We can summarize that in a few words, and we can say it's a standard and open hardware, as opposed to traditionally IT and servers have been delivered in a very locked way. So I don't like to compare, but if you buy a Dell server, you're locked down to that manufacturer. So for the spare part and everything else and support. But what we're offering is an open alternative to that hardware, but it's actually made from the same manufacturers that make for the big guys. So what I'm saying is it's an alternative that provides open ecosystem, efficient servers as well. They're scalable, they're reliable, all those things. They tick the boxes. And without talking too much about the actual stuff, what can we actually do cloud solutions? We can do private cloud. So start hosted. I think that's something we can deliver that. If you want to do storage, we can do that. If you want to have big data, we can do that. But then again, as I'm saying here in the middle of the bottom, these are just things. I don't want to talk too much about the things. But if you think about stuff that can be driven by servers, we can probably do that. But that's not really what people want to hear. But what do actually people want to hear? Just need of healing. You can still hear me, yeah?
Yes, you can hear me. Continue.
So I'm trying to bring it up a little bit and just focus a little bit on what people actually use. So if you look at the board, we have applications. We have things like Outlook, email. We have tools. Tools are things like a sales database that you probably have, your team probably use a lot. And when we're talking about operating systems, you probably all use Microsoft Point. But up that chain, there's servers, and we sell servers, they'll sell servers, the other guys also sell servers. When you talk about networks, we have firewalls, we have companies like Safaricom that provide that network, and then when you talk about data centers, company like Apple or Fakes in Upper Hill do have that facility. So I'm trying to simplify what get this work out there, and probably a little bit of education right now. So when we talk about infrastructure as a service, we're talking about the whole bit about servers and the networks and the data centers. When we talk about the platforms, we're talking about the things that are probably situated in the servers that help you do things, and then the software as a service application that fits on that infrastructure, which can belong to yourself or can be hired. So there's different ways of doing things, and I just let you know there's words out there. There's models of delivering cloud, and what is cloud? Cloud is nothing but just a server. And I'll have questions later. But how do we go about delivering something? How do we go about delivering a server? If we were to look at timeline, and I'll talk a little bit about what the processes look like here. Ideally, at the end of the day, a customer just needs a server. Nataka server. What we do is we define the requirement, we build a server. So we have a facility in Australia here to build a server, which in a few years is something that I'm looking to bring home and do the manufacturing back in Kenya. And things like the Africa, the CFTA is a good idea, and I hope that it goes through. So meaning that we can export from Kenya. That's definitely something that might be interesting, very interesting to explore in the future. When the customer pays, you ship the server. The server probably take 5 to 20 days to ship. We install it. We have some local partners to work with. We can install the server and we can install it. So that's what the timeline looks like for delivering the server. But again, we're just talking about the server, but we can get it there through some such methods that are there. We can support the server in Nairobi, and that's that. I'll talk a little bit about what that looks like. So this is a bit of training for me. The way that I sell has changed a lot. Selling is not about the stuff on the left. The stuff on the left is very technical. We're talking about technical stuff that we don't have to talk about. Ideally, exactly what we want to do is the stuff on the right. We want to enable digital transformation by giving enterprise choice and control of servers with the flexibility, sort of go ahead and speed of provisioning. It's like you're clicking a button without any dependence. So we can definitely spend time understanding what the solutions look like, but ultimately, what we'd like to do is help work together to help companies achieve, server infrastructure that can help them do work easier without having to build in. And we can look at bringing this capability in a simpler way. I won't talk too much about the stuff, but we definitely have access to servers, the networking stuff. We have some server commodities we can provide. But the real difference comes with the openness of the solution. And I mentioned about the manufacturing. I won't go into too much with the manufacturing, but what we do here is we get the server from a manufacturer from Taiwan, and we do level 7 to 11 of manufacturing here in Australia. This is a process which I've got some discussion going on how this actually happened. So perhaps a really good point to discuss with the youth fund and such avenues. But this is a process which is basically an IP-driven process where we're doing a lot of work on the server. So we're not going to get too detailed idea. What they do in Taiwan is manufacturing the actual motherboard. There's a process to manufacturing the motherboard, and then we take the motherboard from level 7 to 11. And level 11 looks like software products that just works. So this level 7, 8, 9, 10 involves a lot of research, a lot of development, a lot of software vendor discussions and testing and breaking and testing. And we have a lab data center which we do this at. So that's what that looks like. And there's definitely opportunity for us to get off this one, deliver solutions in cloud infrastructure, as they call it. So again, I'll bring the discussion here, which is we're not in the business of hardware. We're not in the business of selling things. We're not in the business of selling coffee or in the business of selling experiences. And the experience here is digital transformation. And I think Joseph is coming very clear that you're not in the business of selling things. We're in the business of achieving an outcome, is making customers happy, doing, getting coffee, if it's construction, achieving an outcome. And so the outcome for any server, any technology should be something. And for this, it's digital transformation. What does that look like? It's up to companies to decide what they want to do. So if a company wants to transform in the way that they do their sales team, they want to standardize that, they want to basically do virtual desktop line, want to have backup, if they want to have seamless backup. Right now in Kenya we have a new we have the data protection law that came through not too long ago, and requiring that companies keep data locally. I'm talking for insurance companies, and it's a big requirement for them now to have data locally. So what are we doing to help companies? We can basically help them build local capacity. They don't need to use the big cloud providers out there. They can buy their own server. They can get it set up. We have a lot of skills back in Kenya to do this. I'm supporting a few companies to do that, and I think we can build our own capacity. And I think it's towards the end of helping companies realize that they can do stuff with local talent. Because obviously the big companies have realized that they can get a lot with the local talent that we have. So that's what we do. I'll leave the stage for a few questions, but I'll just talk about a few myths, a few things that people think the cloud is. And I'll probably ask around the room, what do people think the cloud is? And we can have a discussion. We don't want it to be just me talking. And cloud is not always about money. Cost is a big factor. But there are many reasons for using the cloud, including agile, and that means that you can start small. You can start with just 1 terabyte storage and grow to become 10 terabyte. We can be elastic. So that's what cloud is. It's not all about cost. So you must be on the cloud, not all the time, not necessarily. Again, remember, cloud is just a server. The server can belong to someone else. That's what we say when we talk about cloud. it's just someone else's stuff. So it's not just about having, you don't have to have cloud to be good. You can build your own stuff to also be good. You don't have to use cloud for everything. You can't use cloud for everything. Remember, like, if you're an insurance company, you can't use cloud for some certain things because your data has to be absolutely stay local. You can. And you cannot play around with customer data. You have to leave it in Kenya. If it's Kenyan data, it's treated some restriction. We need one strategy. No, you can have very different ways of dealing with your cloud. You can have, you can use public cloud provider. You can build your own private cloud. Cloud is always more secure, not all the time. Keep saying that security is as much as you secure it. So we have companies have to take ownership of their own security when we're talking about IT and everything IT, but we can help them get there. And I keep hearing companies say that they have a cloud strategy, but really a cloud strategy is as good as the operational plans of the business. So you have to really work around how your business is set up, how it's working for cloud to make sense. So I'll leave it. I don't want to go too much, but I wanted to give you an overview of basically this. You know, we're not in the business of selling, we're in the business of helping companies transform. And we can do it in very many ways, but this is just one of them, helping them with building their own salary. I'm happy to take some.
Thank you, Kinyo, for such a nice presentation and juggling our minds on this issue of the cloud and digital transformation. The team is here. I want to give them a chance to raise any issues. Myself is just to make a comment here. There is a whole economy now called digital economy, and it is yet to be tapped. So any innovation around any innovation around this area cannot go wrong. The whole new world order, whole economy. Government of Kenya is trying to come up with the infrastructure. Now innovators need to make use of the infrastructure. I'm sure you have heard of the Konza City. Now it's moving to the next level. Government is now doing the first digital infrastructure in Konza City, the data center. And the government just puts the infrastructure for the private sector to pick from there. So the data center, I think, if I'm not wrong, was being launched by the president. So now the private sector needs to take up the data center and try to roll out products for the digital economy within the country. It's one of the drive trying to move the storage of our data abroad to make it now stored within the country border. And then enterprises can make use of the infrastructure to be able to pitch their business. So it's a very potential area. And yes, we need to see on now Starteam and you and be the first movers in that digital economy and take advantage of that. But I have my colleagues here. I want to give them opportunity to ask questions. Brian, you are our cloud guy here. You can take us to the cloud. Follow sawa.
Unaona amesema yeye hataki
Mwingine and we have the ICT guy here. I think he wants to comment or ask a question.
How are you, Mr. Kinyo? So my question is on need to level in the Kenyan. At what point have you done your research in terms of the business in the Kenyan market or the African market, and the gap you're thinking you are you're at least you're closing the gap between maybe private sector, the government, NGOs, or both within the African continent, your target market.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, but your budget is
I think I was trying.
concern of your
Hello?
yes, you can get
Yeah, that's better. You asked about what gap, what
I was asking,
problems.
yes, I was asking, since maybe you want to have an exit level in the African or the Kenyan market in terms of products you're bringing to the market. At what point have you done your research? But are you targeting more of the private sector, more of the government, more of the NGO? So this is the target market in Africa. At least your research.
Yeah, I think the short answer is private sector for now and medium to large size businesses, simply because they're the ones who have that data requirement, that big data requirement, and eventually government. I think you need some sort of a presence to go into government. You need to have demonstrated sort of capabilities to go into government. So for now, the first port of call, the first point is private sector, and then be more specific, the financial sector. I'm talking a lot with the financial sector, so small banks or banks are not really that small. Insurance companies, SACCOs, and typically service providers like cloud providers, but also hospitals and people that need services running that are already using servers. So anybody that really is using a server would benefit from having a server that's not boxed down to a manufacturer. So the reality has been that the big pain point in the market for servers and the whole IT sector is there's a few players in the market that have managed to really bring prices up, and the reason for this, they're not very many. So there's very few options for buying a server that are good quality. There's also a well-known presence of Chinese manufacturers in the country, and that they're good, but the reality is the quality is not up there. So what we bring in is quality product that doesn't necessarily have to the business suffer in terms of poor quality, but also a well-supported open platform. And so we've done a lot of research, and I have spent 2 years in the southern part of Africa in the last 3 years, and just came back to Australia, but yeah, really looking back into East Africa, because I think everybody knows that Kenya is really where we are at in terms of the digital African sort of leader. South Africa is up there, but Kenya is really where everybody is looking towards. So we have a good reason to be in Kenya, and I think companies will definitely benefit from having a local sort of presence. And I'm already seeing a lot of interest and a lot of need there that we can satisfy.
Thank you.
Like, got friends, definitely have to talk to them.
Thank you, David. Anyone else who want to go? Yes, Ellen here is the banking sector, so it could be getting the first client.
Hi, Kenya. Thank you for the good presentation. I think my interest was on the data protection piece, which is a big issue right now. And I think for me, maybe this is something we can take off or rather discuss on the site, and probably connect you to our team to see how you can help them, or maybe give them a presentation how Gen.com can help them in terms of data protection. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is an opportunity for you to
Yes,
pitch.
it's an interesting, yes, and I think that it's an interesting opportunity. I was just talking to the since the requirement has come through, they had an office in Tanzania and Kenya, and they had a big challenge. The challenge comes in that it's very hard to get a server, quickly. It takes the typical line for the big companies, for the big, manufacturers out there is about 7 to 8 months of waiting for the server. And so the challenge was there's a new requirement that has come through. They have data that they're sending from Kenya to Tanzania and vice versa, and they cannot continue to do that. So they were really rushing for something. So um, the requirement basically says that you have to, for some specific type of data, you have to retain it locally for the reasons of obviously security and if you don't have a solution built to do that, the options are to use a local provider, and they tend to be expensive. So the solution for most of that type of companies is to build something locally. So they would require to buy data center, or to help you get that going. Sure.
Okay, thank you. I think that is quite in order. Anyone else? Yes, I see the guy is back.
One more. Um,
Yes.
WhatsApp.
Yes.
So, like, now, getting bit with start or your company now, it's kind of making good in the digital space. The kind of partnership, what kind of partnership that starting to offer, and what partnership you're looking forward to with starting.
So what that would look like is I'm happy to work with, I'm working with a few already IT sort of providers, and we call them managed providers. So where I see the relationship going is if you have an opportunity that you're working on, I'm happy to help you get that delivered. And what that usually means is understanding what the current requirement is, and then I fulfill the requirement, then you you can basically be the relationship engagement sort of support for that. The reality is you need IT engineers. I have access to engineers because for the business that I mean, you cannot sell a server and not have support for it. So I have a local support team. Usually, if I sell a piece of hardware, a server or some other kit, I have to keep a spare locally. I have a team that does that, and actually two of my team have probably a spouse training. And so how it would work is if you have a lead, happy to work together on meeting that, and you can work on the command code, but it's really understanding how you want that done. But if you have a requirement uh, for for a server, I'm always happy to give you access to the lab. I have a lab access here, and if somebody wants to test and see how the server looks like or how it's performing, I'm happy to give access to any company to test it out. And it's a really interesting facility, and I'm hoping to bring one of my servers for the election. I'm definitely coming to the country soon, so I'll bring something that people can actually see. Because you can't buy stuff without seeing. You can't buy a coffee and you can't see the coffee. So people can come and see it itself. So that's the sales process. So currently, there's a need, you define the requirement. If it's a girl, we build we send it, we support it, and everybody's happy. And I also have a local um, that does lease option. So I work with Rentworks. Rentworks is a lease provider. So typically, a server is a big purchase for most companies. So often people want to lease the server as opposed to buying it. So the lead provider that can provide the financing for me upfront because I need to get the money upfront. Then the liability basically leaves on the company that they can meet per month to their lease provider. Rentworks. They're really nice guys. They work with a whole lot of other companies, so they're reputable. So that's the process of it. But we can definitely talk more on detail with it.
I think maybe example coming in
Yes.
when you were starting, it's an umbrella of many other businesses and many other companies. You can be your first consumer. Like you can at least
Yes.
most definitely we need a server at one point. You can start being the first
Yeah.
consumer. We try it out, then have a partnership. Also, how we can link with many other people. So I think maybe when we come and our CEO agrees on it, maybe from there we can be your first consumer. Then afterwards we can see how we can link to other businesses in our
Yeah. That's very great. So I'll definitely bring a few equipment and for businesses like yours, you definitely will benefit from having a central server just that can do your hosting for all your websites, for instance, all your email servers. If you have various emails for your business, um, you need backup. Thing that companies don't do properly is backup. So you need to have backup because if Joseph is asking for an email from 6 months ago, you need to produce it. So you don't have to leave things. The normal day-to-day, the, 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 the business today, you don't delete email. You just, you store it. So, because you need to have, and also for the sake of big track and for data protection, there's some things that you don't do. So you know that you're an expert. To build that is definitely essential. You need to do things like backup every day. You need to have a storage facility. You need to have a website posted. And if you add all these stuff, if you put them on a hosting company, they will add up. So definitely having some of your own that you can even do a lot of businesses with will definitely work to your advantage because it definitely would eventually save costs to have think that way. And that's the journey I'm trying to take businesses on. And it might look easy initially to use hosting providers, but as soon as you're starting to grow and as soon as you're starting to require a lot of it, long load, so yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. And we'll definitely have a discussion on that for sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. But then also you mentioned you have registered in Kenya, registered in Kenya and
Yes.
in Australia.
Yep.
We would like to know whether whether you just registered, whether you have physical office in Nairobi, you have
I'm currently I don't have a physical office. I'm utilizing marketing. I have a marketing support team in Nairobi. I'm utilizing for any requirement for now. But I'm happy to have a discussion and see if we can host one day. But yeah, definitely. I'm also thinking to use one of the co-working spaces in Nairobi. Like I have, but my team is very work from home, but because they're very digital. I'm definitely.
working from home work in COVID, but these days people want to see the physical thing. In fact, if you are really looking for a contract somewhere,
Yeah.
one of the prerequisites information that are asked is the address, physical address of the. Some of these things, some agents, I don't want to talk about that to access tomorrow or the next. You will need to come and see your physical. You saw the story with the Venezuelans and the Panama. So some of us are very sensitive.
That's why they'll come to see.
So we will propose.
Yeah. So I'll have a. Yeah. Keep on.
We may make a proposal to you. Starting offices, headquarters in Mao. We go down and we make a proposal for you. Set your house there. Or we give you a small minute office there. Then we start it. Number two.
Yeah.
Number two. We may also because we are in partnership. I don't want to talk about the revenue share in formula. Formula of revenue. This is the national government. So basically, the revenue share in formula. You may also not limited to Jennifer there is laughing that in her cafe shop as a manager, the who is here then and there, they may want to have your flyers.
Yes.
So that we put them in part of our marketing.
Yes.
Your flyers, simple flyers. And the designer for flyers is also seated here. If you want to have another conversation, have some simple flyers that people can craft because they are for kids. Walk in and walk out flyer so that you can, as you plan to come and we do the pilot, that can also be start the process of advertising of your products and the rest in terms of
my support engineers are called Siokinet. They're in Sukimau. I don't know if you know them. They do internet as well. So very close by. I've taken those points down. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I think there's more. The other group we just had the managers of the key points, those points. We add them to that group. You can share with them. Somebody has any deal. Then we can share with you with the priors. Then we see how we move forward. Perfect.
Awesome.
I know it's late and we still want to. We were with Kudia. We were with your friend Kudia yesterday. If you're talking to us, we can sell coffee in Australia. You always send me those details.
Oh yeah.
I think there will be a conference in Melbourne in September.
Yeah.
But let us see how we can work together. We really appreciate you. And we thank you for your time. Let us keep the conversation going on.
Hello.
Let us keep the conversation going on.
In fact.
No?
Sorry, I lost you there. Are you saying there's a conference in Perth?
Yeah, no, it's in Melbourne for coffee.
Oh, the big one.
Yes, the
yes.
big one.
My friend is Abdallah.
Yes.
So Amir Coffee definitely sitting there.
Yes, Abdallah. Yes. So let us keep growing the businesses, and then we will continue having the conversation as also we plan to come. I think you will still give us your itinerary so that our team can also engage you on what you come with and can prepare the documents for your test for your pilot. Then we see how do we grow the business. Perfectly well, and I had the Ben say that starting will be one of your clients for the servers. So come with the
yes. Ameshanunua.
Amenunua already.
Ukiendaenda hivi, so ashanunua.
Alicommit, alafu akaenda kambi at the CEO approved, but he had already agreed to come with them.
Yeah, sasa amesema kwa camera.
Yeah, na amesema kwa camera.
Akona proof kwa camera.
Na iko kwa YouTube.
Yeah.
He has entered into a contract.
And one of you cannot delete the file at all. You're going to take it to court.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. I know it's a bit late there.
All the best.
Asante sana. Sisi sasa tunataka tumalize.
Still early.
Around
Yeah.
Must be around 8
At least-
p.m. or 6 p.m. or 9 p.m.
They had a question.
Uliza.
This is this really a retreat? You guys are busy doing strategy and planning all day. This is a retreat.
Thank you for asking. Now we need a
Finally tuko na mtetezi.
We had come from it was a vacation. Ilikuwa Masha. Ilikuwa vacation. Hizi Nairobi wana hizi ukiuliza swali kama hiyo, Nairobi wanasema we. Okay,
Amazing guys. So, I wish you all the best.
thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Asante. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tune into the YouTube as well.
Perfect. We by then we still have a lunch stand up. Now, Leonard still has his presentation. PPT.
Babu.
Sasa tiada. Kwa sababu nimewetu kitu sana. Babu. Naona itia kwa sababu kwa But then, by the way, who now we need some reform. Leonard was the best caretaker. Who has the best handwriting? What it means? Who has the best handwriting by then? Nani anajua kuna handwriting? India. Sasa fika hivi akapoa. Sasa kila mtu tushike ka tena na paper. Poleni sawa Jennifer. Bado tuko vacation. Now, I think we have key deliverables that we have come out. I know we had just covered 70% of what we achieved. Means therefore, pending matters for the next may be happening in October. As we say now, contracts. So those other things that were never covered will still be covered there. They have not been lost. Still be covered there. So you have to cover the what you have right. Most of them have increased new ideas as we still go and see Mr. Tinder in his office. So if we are to look at that, then it means therefore there are key deliverables that we need to achieve in August. One, we have upcoming events. One is the Youth Summit, which we know our events person who is who I know she's at you have a youth summit that is coming up, youth coffee summit, to bring the young people in the coffee value chain. We need to plan properly for that event. We have around 100 youth across the country coming the end of August. End of August, which is the date we're going. 27th to 28th. That's a youth summit for coffee value chain. And you know we still have to invite them. Ukiona anaweza vijana mambo mingi
Mingi sana.
I know Keproba Youth Fund have really supported us and they are committed. The apologies from the city who are to come yesterday, but we are held up. They will be joining us in the subsequent meeting. So we need to give roles who will be responsible, who will be following up for the coming youth event. Paboy, I know you have been working with it. 25 to 26. It's a Friday and Saturday. That's when you plan the meeting. Not meeting, those meetings are always coming very Friday, Saturday. Saturday people are getting, other people are also busy. The rest. Yeah, basically. So you'll be responsible. So, looking at the number one, youth summit. Upcoming events, youth summit, Babu will be responsible. Will be responsible with the rules. I think Madam will be the one who will be participating. Any other idea good? You can give us an idea. So, you can open a youth summit, for example, for you can update us there. Yeah? Date Waboy. So the responsibility is Waboy. We are all responsible for the planning, full execution of that activity. You also realize that when the committee was talking, told us to grow the business. That we are growing the business. We are soon opening up a cafe, coffee cafe in Batam. Of course, we have the facility now. Basically, uh, it's basically now executive. We want the responsibility. We have two responsibilities. One is the design, is Waboy with us. That's the work there. And Waboy, we want to know the deadline when we are doing the planning of this activity. When do you give us a report that the activity is done? You plan for you can open up our Zago for everybody. And then we chagia, then you give us a program of activities between now and the date. The event. This date is supposed to happen. What key milestones need to happen on each day year into other. Checklist, yes, but with deadlines. With deadlines that today you are supposed to do this, tomorrow you are supposed to do this, contacting those, even identifying the stakeholders, identifying the presenters, both national and international, all those things. A checklist which you can share in the group, then what was again. Mr. Pogo is very good at that. Very good at that. So, but you can help us, Waboy. Then do, and then some of you guys who are interested. Tuweke kila mtu, wacha mtu wa kuapproach, wapi nataka hiyo kitu ya suluhu sana. Then come and help. Let everybody give them a thought. Yeah? Watu wa volunteer, if they are ready, then you go happen. But then give them responsibilities. But you the overall responsibility. Then we were talking about the cafe that we want to open. Designs, we have the space too. Basically now finalizing on the design and doing the interiors designs. Kweli sikufanya hiyo kazi sasa, cafe ikae cafe, acha kuwa hall. Designs ni wewe, that's your work. Then we have now an activity. How do we launch the cafe? Become like an event. Yeah. There's another two or three. We went through Watamu or whatever. Yeah, a few 3, 4. Watamu Kareza. Kuna watu wengi sana, foreigners and the rest.
Yes.
More Italians, So you need to, when you open a cafe in Watamu, you need to put your name there in the map. You can't just go and open cafe ukiwa umebeba mizigo yako na puda. Yeah, you have to prepare for an event. How do we do the grand opening? Who want to be responsible for opening that cafe? I can help.
So Mr. Bogo will be responsible. He will open his WhatsApp group, which we manage as an administrator. And basically, what does it entail? Can we give ideas? 2 or 3? What does it entail that opening of the cafe? Materials, merchandise, and marketing. Can have coffee tasting. Doing an advert. Major plans, maybe partners. Inviting guests, either major plans or partners. The partners within the coffee. Yes. Yes. Upward. Yes. 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 Yes.
He's the guy.
Yes. We are. Yes.
That's the machinery.
Ideas are many. Kaitwe Mr. Bugwa, itape Mr. Bugwa namba za kila mtu ule WhatsApp wale wanataka kuingia kwa hiyo radio opening ya kafe WhatsApp kwa hiyo. Kweli. Haya. Dates, by the way, dates and responsibility. Responsibility tumepea Mr. Bugwa dates. Tumesema kwanza they work on the interior design concept. We need the design. Wabu, can you give us a framework of when do you think that we should do designing the designing na kujenga? So lazima upigie bao hizo vitu zote mnafanyanga. So when no, but you see, where do you unatuambia, well, if holding that the resources are available, resources have to, if you have paid for rent this month, means that you have planned yourself that the shareholders are planned to open the company. Meaning therefore, it's you to get work. Tunataka utuambie, uambie mkutano, tamaliza kujenga hiyo. Let's talk about this. The book proposes are September, end of September, and September. And remember, these sagas, we have already paid rent. So don't talk about Tuesday. Tuesday is another day, it will not happen. Atafadhali tuambie Wednesday. Because Tuesday hata ukitutumia tutaangalia tuko kwa uchaguzi. WhatsApp zote ile, by the way, hii wiki itakuwa mambo ya mingi. So anyway, so you can do the design. You know, design you can do, but then I also give you Dennis' number. This is the Arako with but then when we finish, then kujengwa, you know, you have to travel to town. Hizo bao zako, hizo vitu zako unafanyanga mingi. Sasa hizo tunataka ni the real thing. Give us a date. Because Mr. Bugwa, the owner of the process, is saying, yeah, anataka the end of September. At the end of September, me, I find it iko mbali sana. Sababu 2 months tutakuwa tu. Well, we can start operating smooth road and then we do the route.
My point was, this is only August. Right.
Oh, I get you. The route by end of September. So who is to give us this? We need this to launch end of September. Then Wabu tells us when are we opening the cafe? When is it becoming operational? Operationalization. Already by then we have a barista. Sasa ni wewe tu hujamaliza. Na we have the equipment. Zile mashine za Jennifer zile Mr. Wawero mystified. Mystified cup. So basically that is it. So what can we have from your end when tell us your construction, how soon, if you have everything in your space, how soon do you think we should be? No, you are not becoming a government official. Give us specific dates. So give our boy until Tuesday evening to give us a framework of with deadlines. Na situpea tu maneno deadlines. Circulate kwa your group to discuss, then we know whether it's doable. The other thing, Mr. Mbugu anaona hapo kama utatoka hapo kwa hiyo. We know we have a roasting facility. That one I know is announced on 1st of September. There will be no more Supreme Court in the land of. Destiny, of course, roasting facility. What do you do with the other one? You will be able to coordinate too. Are you sure? No, we left the cafe. Now in the roasting facility in Lorong. And the need, what do we require? We require pallets. Good. We require pallets. The mahogany, by the way.
Mahogany.
Yeah. Into your logistics. Require pallets, the mahogany. Hapana, mimi ready with that. I know we need mahogany.
Mingi sana mtu.
Mahogany. Unajua pia unaweza enda huko nini? Kwa industrial area. Wanapaka rangi. Wanapaka rangi unakuambia ni mahogany lakini
Ni bao ya kawaida. Connect nani?
Kapata aparte hizo vitu za mahogany. Saidiwe na zero. Then meaning therefore we need now also of course Alex will be coffee that will be roasted. So we need to now plan for the facility to be open. Roasted. Even planning for the function itself. And that's why I think Mr. Bobo comes in. You know, to prepare the after mtu mwingine wa watamu because holding two things at the same time it might be difficult. I'm noting that Kapogo yesterday did you a road test. Unajua vile kumeenda. What do you think good people? Let us agree. You find hapana. Utamkimbiza. She has a youth summit, my dear. She has a youth summit to facilitate. Hapana. Hiyo nataka Okay. Then facility, hosting facility. First of September. So we have around 20 days. Who? For what? You know, these are two independent functions. With all due respect, these are two independent
Any activity.
These are two independent enterprises. By the way. Two independent enterprises.
So we separate them.
They have to be separate.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they have to be separate. If you try to mix them up, you end up with. In fact, they have to be handled by a different parts. Roasting facility. We assume that you don't have somebody, then we. Mr. Bogo would have been very good because he has given you on that because even in the group of during the equipment. What do you do? Nataka kuingia kwa kahawa. Mezani. Who does that? Nani atafanya?
Roast.
You want a lead person for a facility opening up of the roasting facility. Roasting facility will have what? We need green beans. We need them to be stored. We need them now they go down to be planned in a way that is the roasting facility. Well, we need of course we need to have the beans because we are launching roasting. Mr. Motita alisema watu wetu watatuinua huko. So we will have some few guys who now the key roaster. Then we need a packaging waste so that once you roast, you don't put them in again in dunia. You have them in some nice bags. Roasted package. Then of course that branding of that package. You need to have that entire process being coordinated. Yes. But we need a lead person. Somebody who will be responsible. Anajua hata kama atapanga watu waende wa visit, kama atapanga nini, yani yeye huyo ni mtoto yake. Achukue mtoto aanze kulea. But you still have a term.
Maybe anaweza fanya roasting together with Alex.
Then from there, we take it.
What up? Yes, that's the question. They may end up in the same day.
Mimi nitasaidia tu coordinate. Mwambie fanya kuzungumza. Lakini
Kwa sababu we are running away from that. Unajua, so many people do something. There is nobody who is responsible. I can tell you. Watu watasema ni huyu, they start bringing him. You just need to get one person. I'm dealing with this morning to morning. Unapiga simu, tumefika wapi? Mpaka anafanya mpaka barua. If you are writing somebody has to sit down and do the rest. He's coordinating.
basi focus yangu ya
Okay, it's good because I know that one is better for you, by the way. But you can also be in the Watamu team, but not be in the lead. You're not responsibility. What I done it for. Yes, sir. Yes, aweke WhatsApp group pia akona hiyo akona kumaliza na kuiround. Maneno namna hiyo.
Utakuwa humo. Huko.
Ndivyo. Umemaliza hiyo. Then mwisho performance contract.
Na kuna ile ingine ulikuwa umesema Taji Diva, you were saying also Taji Diva. You were saying it's supposed to be done also.
The other one is a Voi cafe in the Taji Diva spot. Voi. Sasa hiyo iko na wacha hiyo weka nani? Weka Jose. Perfect. Sasa atafungua WhatsApp kumwambia
Yes.
Boy in fact in year August, end of August. Haya. Thank you. hiyo ni Jose na ni end of August. Then the other one, we're done with that. We do the other one, targets and outputs. Targets and outputs. Susan and Rebecca want to people on the past. No, in fact, contact is after. Targets and outputs, all our businesses, Jennifer and your cafe, logistics na watu yake na kagalia KCC. Kampuni and her design, Chero and her fashion. Josiah with the coffee and the Rivers boy. Dennis with the company. Sambaina, Mr. Google with kafanya lakini we are targets and outputs. We were at least Susan took us through. Start the phase, start with the cafe one. When are you submitting those targets? Perform. When are you giving her those targets and responsibilities? Performance indicators. When are you giving them back? Deadline. So that you can give them. Tukae naye chini tena then the targets which will be weekly, which are closing on Saturdays. We agreed on Monday, Friday, Saturday. Closing on Saturday. Saturday is not a very busy. For example, the cafe. Monday to Saturday, a week is Monday to Saturday. See, that's how we keep it. 1, 2, 3. That's how we operate. And noting that our year will be beginning on 1st of October, ending 30th of September every national. The reason is that by the idea behind it, October is the beginning of the coffee picking season. We have integrated our businesses in the coffee season. That's the idea behind it. And November is when Kenya cruises, for example, export of avocado. Is a near so many things. It's a crucial of so many things that we do. So when are we giving Susan a target for everyone? You know, targets are attached to responsibilities and financial implications. Yeah, you are thinking through. When are we giving her the targets?
Mid-September.
Okay?
Mid-September.
My friend. October we are signing contracts. Give us a date. We don't want 30th of August. Everyone prepare, so we need to engage her that to party a first draft. First, by then you can give her first draft. So we are saying that we are closing on target on 30th of August. Meaning therefore, we do the first draft, second draft, approved. So the final draft, not final draft, the final thing, your target is 30th. So, but then you have to work backward. You know, if the final date is 30th, it means therefore you have to work between now and 30th. First draft to me, bishe draft, mpaka mwisho. Target zako, then we sit down with her for one day. Take us through, kila mtu anapewa zake, anasema ni ukweli. Contract, performance contract. That was Julian. We said that we gave us until 1st of October. You have to have signed on 1st of October. So for her, you sign on 1st of October. So you have to have agreed before performance contracts, which are tied to the targets. So the target umalize, done, and when the target 15th of September. You have to finish. Then we sign on 1st for that year, 1st of October. Well, HR platform, the details for the HR platform that we went through in the morning. NSSF card, NHIF card, all those details being the certificate ya KRA. When are we supposed to give the HR card? Kila mtu yake, wote, whoever is the payroll. The drive. No. That to be before, my friend. This is payroll that's been integrated. Oh, no, it can't be. He needs to integrate that information as you work a system. And develop your system. You are starting so that it starts running on 1st of October. Yes. 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 It means, therefore, we have to give him our document by next week. That's the latest. He develop his team, our input kila kitu. So that end of August, we can see pilot pay strips. NHIF, NSSF, sijui hizo vitu zote kurejea, weke huko ndani. Date. That's I think those details don't assume. But for you to register, how many have no, you are losing people here. You're losing us because there's somebody who doesn't have an NHIF card. You have to apply to do the NHIF. Kuna mtu ana NSSF card, lazima apply, apewe hiyo number so that it is in the payroll. So that payroll ikiishika inashika hiyo number so that remittances are done directly through your personal number. It means, therefore, if you don't have an NHIF card, you have to apply tomorrow. NSSF, you have to apply.
No, on NSSF is just diving. NHIF ndio NSSF is digital.
KRA pin, kuna mtu ana KRA pin? Hata kuna mtu ana bank account. Wengine, you don't know. Don't assume these things. Yeah. What's salary account? Salary account, don't charge anything. Yeah. Naingia kitoka. Anyway, those are things that are prerequisites. They have to be there. At least I know majority of us have accounts. That's okay. So we deal with the other issues. Then we give to this guy. Then he has to, of course, to include in our CV, to be incorporated in the HR. Your certificate to be incorporated in the system. So that becomes your account.
Exactly.
No, Nani, the consultant, that's the most central point. Jennifer's cafe hapo kama kwa chero. Kuja hapo, kwa drop hapo. Unaweka kwa basha yako mnapatana kwa sababu. So by which date do you give him these details? You're indicting the government. This is 19. By 19th of August. Perfect. Management system, which is I'm responsible. Need to deliver it. Give me a date by Friday. Friday you up and running. I give the users, I will give them their rights. I'm giving myself a target of this Friday. That's management system. Yeah, because tumetumia kila kitu. Management system. From there, we have an important work which we need to talk about, which you are to do in this teacher, which has to be done. We agree all of us. Review of the website. Brian has been doing our very wonderful work. Remember, we really structured our website. So and he has done tremendous work on the website. It can never be improved unless all of us come in and give our comments. Kama ni cafe ya Jennifer, aone kama vitu yake imewekwa vizuri, kama ni logistics za kapata zimewekwa vizuri, kama ni kubwa na yake, kama ni all those things we need, kama ni end day imewekwa vizuri. We need to give our own views, Brian, so that we can be able to really finalize. We have been working closely with you. Now you can go and check the website. From where you come from what you do, your site, whether it's well covered, you have nice photos, we give him our views. The website is up and running, but we want to offer that peer reviewing so that you don't put the other kuuza don't for cafe. Pata ameweka picha ya donkey. Na hiyo ni logistics. Donkeys are transport. So let us review when we give Brian his comments on the website. Kila mtu lazima atupee comment zake kwa their own. When we give Brian
but sometimes people are thinking just a menu make your price because your menu is not you go to cafe so plan is just for access in case of any violation people have to see how we are.
So responsibility we are giving Brian is to be coordinating us, but then he opened up our WhatsApp group for the website so that we drop his comment. Kama unaweza kuongea na yeye in his inbox muongee, you can drop your comments in that our WhatsApp group. Kila mtu field yake, we give him our views, I incorporate. So by when do we give Brian our final comments? 12th of? Okay. The 12th of August. So, and name, by the way, you have the ability to name people who have not really you name them there. It's an open field to name them. Finally, and I'm sorry for taking your time, we also have follow-ups. We all had very, very well and clear. How do we follow up on that? Who will be responsible for following up on what? This tells us that we don't have enough staff. So then means that we don't have enough human resources. Who will be responsible for following out all those things that they opportunity comes once and goes.
Exactly.
So who is responsible for killed for office of the problem do the answer. So, number two, Kudia was here. Me, Peter, who follows up?
Mining mimi.
Mungu amejitolea kufanya mining. So, pia kuchomoka na hiyo. Just me expound more what
Follow.
Starteam is doing mining. He gave us some data, some opportunities. We have to now talk to him first and foremost to start engaging and that this is what is happening in the mining field. This is where the opportunities for start to mark. This is what we can do so that we can also start doing our flyers and we were on you, but then who is this guy? Has all the information. In fact, he has even the brochure. Yes. Sasa uzuri huyu amejitolea kufanya kupata maisha. In fact, the good thing we went to him to boy. He has more information. He has even a catalog. I started. Yeah. He has. So talk to him.
So this is how okay.
Unajua sasa uzuri ile Friday yako ile siku ya kiama ya kwako ile wabuya umetupetoro. Utakuwa una name watu huyu atakupea. Unayo. Good. Haya kutoka hapo hizo by the way biosystems ni killed. Engineer killed ni DA. Ni huyu. Killed ni yeye by the way. Hakuna njia nyingine. Hata kuna kitu kingine anataka kuleta kaneno plant kata kutoka Nebraska. Huyu dia engineer aliandika hapo engineer. Ni huyo. Ndiye huyo.
Not mining.
Mining
ni ICT.
Killed ni wewe.
About your wine.
Yes. Ya kahawa.
Mimi nimeona wine.
Yes.
If you can that because that is something that
But then that would be an acute him. Wewe yeye ndiye anafungua WhatsApp group na wale watu wote ambao wako na interest na hizo vitu acute from our group waingie kwa WhatsApp group which is administered by engineer would be administering that account. So any idea that comes in anatuwekea huko, those who are following, those will be added. Then the idea that you have a good share with him. Okay. But now those brand, those are now the details that you talk in your Kamukuji. Kamukuji hapo nje. Aya, Coffee Directorate. What a fight. Karen. Coffee Directorate with Karen. Karen and James. Then we have Mujens.
That one is obviously me.
Mujens. So we want the responsible people. Mujens. finally, we also have we have been developing in Kapogo the organogram. We have the organogram, we have the starter. That's borrowed, of course, from the activity that we do. We have the organogram. We'll be sharing with you the organogram, but you see the bigger side. To me, Jennifer, atupee structure ya cafe yake. How the cafe will be. Manager, supervisor, what, including, let me tell you, I went to Nairobi City Council wakati was a council. The council ya Nairobi ilikuwa na mpaka positions zilikuwa zinaitwa lat killer. Kuna lat chaser 1, lat chaser 2, lat chaser 3. Then there was a lat killer. So if you chase that, you don't kill it. So those structures will give you the big view, Jennifer. Then you borrow from it. Then you concentrate with, for example, and that's a matter that we was substantive with this, so that you can have your cafe and know how do you manage your cafe. You can only manage it through an established structure. Position knowing you in your cafe, these are the number of people I require. Number 2, this is the wage bill. But related to the wage bill is the amount of money that you need to use, for example, for post like salary. This is your wage bill. And then so that those wage bill and the rest they go to your performance contracting at the time. Because you are the manager of the cafe, so you have your own team. So you just tell the management, these are the number of people that I require in the cafe, and including the program that you run at the internship program. So I hope everybody else as a Chero would understand that NNA should require 1 or 2 sales representatives, all those things. Afanye structure yake. So manager huko juu, who is responsible to the board of management, goes by the way, Starteam International die. Nani akona kitu ya Starteam International? Incidentally, you know, I was to make a presentation the first day, you know. Starteam International does not exist in the world. It's a group. So it was dissolved, it is owned. All these businesses are not owned by any person now. They're owned by a group. Yes, sir. You know that is so when is the next meeting? The next meeting will be communicated, and then I think we'll do then the other retreat will be in December, just before Christmas. When you to be communicated, most probably what happened. Anyway, we will deal with the other issues later. So, yeah. Sorry, we have taken a lot of time, and I know we want to take us for lunch. 14 to Jackie, can you put a katana? What when then there's even a team building. This is good for team building. Wow. Okay.
Good afternoon. So a quick reminder on travel. Travel is not movement from just from one place from point A to B. It moves a lot of logistics, which we are going to be discussing as we move. So, as the director El Veneno Ventures and Enterprises Limited, I naona Taita El Veneno Group here have borrowed something because I have different companies under the same El Veneno. We will be conducting travel together with the Starteam group. So, for example, we want to start by the guys from US, where we can make packages for them. And I want to involve all of you. That's why I came here. I want to involve all of you because you guys have ideas and you can share ideas. From the time they leave US to the time they come here, their travel, their accommodation, and their tours in and around Kenya or East Africa, wherever they want to go. So that is our key, as El Veneno, that is our key mandate. We deal with travel and also training. We train in customer service and sales.
So I see there is an opportunity, there is a business opportunity here. You guys are the tip of the spear for starting. So as the tip of the spear, you're the first point of contact with guests. So as the first point of contact with guests, training is needed, and we continuously grow. As human beings, we always continuously grow. I may know something that you don't, you may know something that I don't. So training is important. So Joseph, yes, we need to organize for training, customer service training, because a lot is needed for the team. Simple things like grooming, smiling. I think yesterday most of you commented about the way we were handled by the blooming team. They are very excellent with their customer service. You are with you and engineer. Those girls are always smiling, but that is training. You are not born like that. That is training. There are some people who generally smile, but maisha imekuwa ngumu. Cost of living imeenda juu. You are mostly frowning. So you're trained to smile. You're trained how to talk to customers. You're trained how to handle conflicts. There's something we call conflict resolution. And the first point of conflict is within yourself. So you're trained on how to do that. You're trained on how to handle internal guests. And when we talk about internal guests, we are talking about your fellow colleagues. Because remember, Daktari here might come to Jennifer's cafe to drink coffee. Even though she's your colleague, she's an internal guest. So you don't handle her differently from how you handle someone else coming. There's professionalism, there are boundaries you put, there are parameters you put in terms of business operation. So we discussed that more. We'll organize Joseph on the training. And for the closing remark, I told me to do the closing remark. Thanks guys for your time. And Joseph, thank you very much for organizing this. Actually, when I was coming yesterday, I didn't think it would be this elaborate. I was actually surprised and shocked. You're an amazing team. You have energy. And most of you guys are young. We are a young team. We can go far. We can do a lot of things. And let's support each other. Together we can grow. And for the keynote speakers, I hope you took the contact, because as much as we are growing as Starteam, there's individual growth. If you don't grow individually, you're pulling the team down. Bottom line. And in business, there's no shooting. And there's one thing people need to know: your employer owes you nothing apart from what you've written in the contract. But you owe yourself much more than you can explain. So let's grow together. Let's reach out to the people who came, to the people we meet, and thank you.
I know we are not really closing, but thank you, and you have given us closing. But final, by the way, tumeandika hapa, by the way, we need you to send us in Excel for the end of the day. In a matrix form. In a matrix form, responsibility in an Excel form. Yeah, so we need to send in the group here retreat. Uifanye kwa Excel with responsibility people na ututumie leo kwa hivi ama kwa nini. You can share with you our emails. Just type it in Excel. Asante. So the next activity will be a team building activity. Just Mwabu is aware.